أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمد وسيلة الفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدت إنك لا تخلف الميعاد اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت وسلمت وباركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. بسم الله الذي لا إله سواه الواحد الأحد الفرد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, as all of us know, describing the reason why he sent Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam to this existence. And he said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, that we have not sent you except as a rahmah, except as a loving mercy or merciful love to all of existence, to all levels, all dimensions of existence. And so he is, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama, so he is a compassionate, loving mercy for me, for you, for all of humanity. And this is something, hafidhakumullah, that I might forget, that I am perhaps prone to forget in the world that I live in, with the pressures that I live under, that I forget the treasure of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, meaning that every level of my existence and your existence, every level, he is sallallahu alayhi wa sallam a rahmah, a loving gift. Intellectually, for my intellectual existence, he is a gift from Allah to me of loving rahmah. At my emotional existence, because alameen has many meanings, every mode of being, every level, dimension of existence. At my emotional level, He is for me a rahmah. At my psychological level, He is for me a rahmah. At my spiritual level, He is meant to be for me a rahmah. At my material, biological level, at my family level, at the artistic level, at the social level, at the economic level, at the political level, at the philosophical level, at the ideological level, at every level of being, Allah intended it to be such that He created him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to be a loving rahmah, a loving gift of mercy, a merciful gift of love. And that means, and ponder with me, that means that every good, that means effectively, that every good, every khair, every maslahah, every welfare, every benefit that I enjoy, that humanity enjoys, He is the conduit for that rahmah. What rahmah do I enjoy? What benefit do I enjoy? What maslahah, what manfa'ah, what welfare do I enjoy that He has not been made by Allah to be the source of that benefit? The feelings I have, how do I know what is a good feeling? How do I know what is a negative feeling? Only by His huda. How do I know how to love my children? How do I know what measure of soft love and what measure of tough love, meaning to give but also not to give? How do I know that? How do I measure that? Except with His rahmah, with His guidance, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How do I know what is psychological, emotional balance? How do I know how to live with my neighbors? How do I know how to live with my non-Muslim neighbors? How do I know? Every rahmah. Ponder this, but better let me feel this. Every rahmah, He has been made the avenue of, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exhorts us to be happy. To be happy with Him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. Say to them, O Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, say to them, قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ. Why am I happy? Why do we celebrate? قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ. Say, by the bounty of Allah. By the bounty of Allah. وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ. And by His loving mercy. فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. In that, let them be happy. In the bounty of Allah, in the grace of Allah, in the munificence of Allah, in the giving of Allah. In that, let them be happy. فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. And the ulama have a lot of tafasir about this. That huwa, meaning Allah's bounty. Allah's bounty, Allah's grace, that is what is better than anything I can amass. But also, some of them had said, what is the greatest bounty? What is the greatest rahmah? وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And therefore, if I am happy about any of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's bounties, I should be the happiest in knowing that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is mine. فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. In that let them be happy. هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ, that is better than everything that they can amass. But also, He is better. هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. His coming, my obedience to Him, my love of Him, my embrace of Him, my following of Him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, externally and internally. My following of Him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, externally and internally. That's better than anything and everything. For I admonish, if you can admonish someone, I admonish myself, I remind myself to appreciate and to recognize the treasure of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama, because perhaps many of us, we don't truly treasure him. We don't realize what we have. We don't realize the extent of his debt upon me. We don't realize the extent of his rahmah in my life. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Consider this text narrated by the huffaz of hadith, by the masters of hadith criticism, the likes of Imam Ahmad, the likes of Imam al-Nasa'i, the likes of Imam al-Bazzar, the likes of Imam al-Qastalani, the masters of hadith criticism. Consider this text. He says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to emphasize a personal relationship, a very personal, direct, living, meaningful relationship that he has with every Muslim. And he says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, hayati khayrun lakum, tuhaddithuna wa yuhaddathu lakum. He says, my life when I was alive is good for you. Because tuhaddithun, you asked, and it was answered to you. You asked questions. He tells the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala, you asked questions, you had concerns, there were events that arose, and you needed answers, and you needed guidance, and I was here. I was here. And I was the recipient of wahi. So, yuhaddathu lakum, and so it was answered to you. And then he says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَمَمَاتِي وَوَفَاتِي خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ, and my death is good for you. وَوَفَاتِي خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ, my death is good to you. My death is good for you. He says, تُعْرَضُ عَلَيَّ أَعْمَالُكُمْ, your deeds are exposed to me. تُعْرَضُ عَلَيَّ أَعْمَالُكُمْ, your deeds are shown to me. And this word, حَفِظَكُمُ اللَّهُ, أَعْمَالُكُمْ, in the grammar of law is am, meaning it's all deeds. أعمالكم is am, صيغة العموم. All of your deeds are shown to me by Allah. And وَمَا ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ بِعَزِيزٍ, it's not hard for Allah, for a person of Tawheed. Allah is the causer of everything, the creator of everything. And so He subhanahu wa ta'ala exposes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam my deeds, my external deeds, my internal deeds. تُعْرَضُ عَلَيَّ أَعْمَالُكُمْ. And then he says sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَمَا رَأَيْتُ مِنْ خَيْرٍ حَمِدْتُ اللَّهَ عَلَيْهِ. And what I see, what I know of you, of me, of each one of us, our deeds, is good, I praise and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I give the wajib of shukr on your behalf. You can think of it like that. I give on your behalf the wajib of shukr, of good deeds. Whatever good deed I do, it's not because I did it fundamentally. It's because Allah enabled me to do it. And then he says, فَمَا رَأَيْتُ مِنْ شَرٍّ إِسْتَغْفَرْتُ اللَّهَ لَكُمْ. And whatever I know and I'm aware of your evil deeds, my evil deeds. He says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I ask Allah forgiveness for you. I ask Allah forgiveness for you. Now, in the life I lead, imagine having this meaning present in my mind and heart. What connection, what bond, what living, breathing, beating bond should I have with him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and what sense of the extent of him being for me a rahmah. For I advise myself and you, hafidhakumullah, at all times, and especially in Rabi'ul Awwal, in the month in which he was born, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to be happy. قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. And being happy with the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an ibadah. No one can tell me not to be happy with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. No one could rationally, textually, intellectually say we should not be happy with the coming of him into this world and into our lives. The treasure of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Number 2, hafidhakumullah, he narrated of the treasures of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he narrated to one of his companions and he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, إِذَا رَأَيْتَ النَّاسِ اِكْتَنَزُوا الذَّهَبَ وَالْفِضَّةَ فَاكْنِزْ هَذِهِ الْكَلِمَاتِ. He said of his guidance, of his rahmah, he said, when a time comes and you see people treasuring and hoarding, iktanazu, taking as a treasure, hoarding, seeking gold and silver, then you treasure, fakniz, you treasure these words. And he taught him a dua, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that it is reported by the ulama that he would read, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, after every salah. After every salah, he would recite this dua. When I live to a time in which people, humanity, treasures wealth, treasures materialism, treasures dunya, and our pursuits and our energies and our time and our resources and our focus and our emotional attachments are all about pursuit of dunya. Either the resources of dunya, power, wealth, status, money, investment, an obsessive concern for intergenerational wealth, but it's made to sound so nice. It's made to sound so nice. This obsessive concern and what it brings of values, what materialism, hubb al-dunya, brings of values. Because the more I become emotionally obsessed and attached with dunya, the less meaningful the unseen will be. The more obsessed I become with that which I see, I taste, I touch, I want, I experience, I enjoy, I indulge in, the less attached I will be to the unseen, the realities of the unseen, the divine values of the shara', what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings of meaning, to the extent that the akhirah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's existence, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's af'al, His deeds, Allah's sifat, His attributes, all of that becomes distant from me. I become emotionally dead and numb to the realities of deen, because I become, though I may be a Muslim, I become emotionally a materialist. And I live and feel, and my drives and my energies and my loves and my attachments are all focused on dunya, mal and jah, resources and power of all kinds. And so he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of his treasures, of his rahmah, when you live to such a time, and if we are not living in such a time, what time are we living in? A time of moral entropy. As you know, moral devolution, moral entropy. You know, entropy in physics. Any closed system, if you don't do work on that system, it will become disorderly and chaotic. Now, moral entropy, our world of moral entropy, and the pattern is, hafidhakumullah, the pattern is a steady slide to more and more moral entropy. There are good times, yes. There's localized good times, but the pattern, if we study history and sociology and politics and philosophy, the pattern is a steady decline of moral values and moral constants and commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so he said, when he lived, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you live to that time, make this dua. When I live to that time, make this dua. And what is that dua? Allahumma inni as'aluka thabata fil amr. Ya Allah, give me thabat, give me firmness, give me steadfastness, give me resolve, give me commitment, make me anchored, thabat, thabata, meaning istaqarra, give me anchorage, fil amr, in the affair, meaning in deen. Give me thabat in deen, the values of deen, the shar', the commitments, obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, staying away from what Allah ta'ala says, stay away from the values of the shar', the values of haya, the values of modesty, the values of truthfulness, the values of trustworthiness, the values of sacrifice, the values of sabr. Give me thabat. Allahumma inni as'aluka thabata fil amr. And then he said, وَأَسْأَلُكَ التَّثْبِيتِ, and in some other riwayat, وَأَسْأَلُكَ التَّثَبُّتَ فِي الْأُمُورِ, and give me tathabbut in all deeds, in all matters. Give me thabat in deen. And then give me thabat in every decision I make, in every choice I make, in every action I take, at my family life, with my children, with me, with school, with work, with the community. Give me tathabbut, give me the energy that everything I choose, everything I want, every multiple choice question of life, before I answer it, I ask, is this pleasing to you? Is this beloved to you? Is this in accord and harmony with the shar' of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or is it not? وَأَسْأَلُكَ التَّثَبُّتَ فِي الْأُمُورِ, all steps. Because shaitan, he doesn't drag us, he doesn't drag me in one step to kufr or shirk or jahannam. It's small steps. لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. Don't follow the steps of shaitan, because every step leads somewhere. Every step leads somewhere. If I want to go from here to there, it's not a big leap, it's small steps. And if I'm not careful, and if we're not careful about where our steps are, it could be we end up where we don't want to be. So this beautiful dua, أسألك التثبت والتثبيت في الأمور, in all of my steps, if you like, in all of my matters, in all of my steps, give me tathabbut. وأسألك العزيمة على الرشد, and give me azima. Azima is like resolve, commitment, energy. You know, energy inside me, the energy sometimes I don't find, the energy to do good. Al-azima ala rushd, to do what is good, to do what is right, to do what is smart. Because everything in the shar that Allah ordains is smart, is wise, it's beneficial. Give me the energy. وَأَسْأَلُكَ الْعَزِيمَةَ عَلَى الرُّشْدِ وَأَسْأَلُكَ شُكْرَ نِعْمَتِكَ. And make me thankful. Don't make me an ingrate. Make me see your bounties. وَأَسْأَلُكَ شُكْرَ نِعْمَتِكَ. Ya Allah, make me thankful all of your bounties that we enjoy, especially in this part of the world where brothers and sisters have no water, where brothers and sisters don't know if they're going to be alive tomorrow. They don't know if they're going to lose their children tomorrow or not. And me and you are living like kings. We are living like kings. These ni'am, the ni'am of health, the ni'am of safety, the ni'am of security, the ni'am of freedom of expression, as we like to say, are we using it in ways that Allah loves? Are we using it in ways that Allah loves? Or are we ungrateful for these ni'am and we use these bounties in ways that Allah does not love? وَأَسْأَلُكَ شُكْرَ نِعْمَتِكَ وَحُسْنَ عِبَادَتِكَ. And Ya Allah, let me worship you like I see you. Ya Allah, let me worship you with ihsan, with beauty, with excellence, with goodness. وَأَسْأَلُكَ يَقِينًا صَادِقًا. Ya Allah, give me certainty in my heart. وَخُلُقًا مُسْتَقِيمًا. And make me beautiful inside with my character. وَأَسْأَلُكَ مِنْ خَيْرِ مَا تَعْلَمْ وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا تَعْلَمْ وَأَسْتَغْفِرُكَ لِمَا تَعْلَمْ إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ عَلَّامُ الْغُيُوبِ. Ya Allah, all of that which is khair, I seek refuge from you. All of that which is evil, shar, I seek refuge in you in. All of that which is khair, I want it from you. And Ya Allah Ta'ala, I seek the good of what you know of the unseen. Inshallah, I'm going to ask our Sheikh Sikandar, to perhaps, bi'idhnillah, post this dua on the website. And then I commit and you commit. I commit and you commit to treasuring it. Because he said, treasure these words. Treasure these words. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make these words valuable in my mind and heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to ask in dua, this dua every day in the time in which we live in. Because in this dua, the more we ponder, the more you ponder, you will see is the antidote and the cure with Allah for so much that is happening in the world and so much perhaps to come. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله كما صليت وسلمت وباركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم انصر من نصر دينك واخذل من خذل دينك. اللهم ارزقنا العزة في غزة وفي بلاد الرباط وفي جميع بلاد المسلمين. اللهم فرج همنا وكربنا واكشف غمنا واستر عوراتنا وآمن روعاتنا وردنا إليك ردا جميلا هادين مهديين لا ضالين ولا مضلين لا مغيرين ولا مبدلين. اللهم إنا نسألك النصر في جميع بلاد المسلمين. اللهم اجعلنا ناصرين لك منصورين بك. اللهم عليك بالظالمين والمفسدين والفسقة والمنافقين. اللهم إنا نجعلك في نحورهم ونعوذ بك من شرورهم ونعوذ بك أن نكون منهم ومعهم. اللهم اجعلنا مع الصادقين ومن الصادقين. اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا وعافي مبتلانا واجبر كسرانا وأتم شفاءك على مرضانا شفاء كاملا لا يغادر سقما ولا يغادر ألما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. أقم الصلاة إن الصلاة كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا.